guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. In today's video I did a get ready with me. I'm just chatting, talking about whatever I wanted to talk about while getting ready for work. I actually have to leave right now to get to work so that I can still be on time. But if you like to see how I enjoyed this look, and if you just want to see me ramble about absolutely random things, then keep watching. Before I start talking, I just want to do a quick disclaimer. In today's video, I'm not going to really explain what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. If you want a more in-depth video, in my other get ready with me's, I kind of explain what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, just so you know. Like I said, I have to get back to work. If you don't know, I am a makeup artist. Right now I work at Kiko Milano. It's an Italian makeup brand that is really popular here in Europe. We were closed for about a month and a half. I am gonna list everything I used down below, by the way. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Yeah, we were closed for about a month and a half. And last Wednesday, so it's now Sunday. My God, my brain. So 5 days ago, we went back open again, and the birds calm down. Yeah, so 5 days ago they decided to go back open, and not only Kiko, like every store is back open. Zara, IKEA, pretty much every store either is already open or is about to open. I know Primark is opening back up, I believe this coming Wednesday. And yeah, it's crazy to see how people either don't care about the whole staying home situation or are maybe just sick of staying home. Because I worked yesterday and I kid you not, it looked like a summer vacation. I saw people strolling, shopping. I saw elderly people with their grandkids, with their kids, with their husbands, their wives. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not judging. I mean, it's your own responsibility. But I was kind of surprised to see how many people were just like shopping. I mean, there were some people that were only going out to get like the necessities, because I work in a shopping center, so there is a grocery store there as well. And I saw a lot of people grocery shopping, but I also saw a lot of people just shopping. And I guess I was kind of surprised to see that. And also I'm not surprised at the same time, because if you hear that all the stores are opening again, you kind of think, okay, well, I can go shop now, you know? I totally get that a lot of people are sick of staying home. I was sick of staying home. I'm actually kind of glad that I got to go back to work again. I just didn't expect that many people. So I kind of thought it would be fun to maybe discuss, if you see me looking over here, my mirror's over here. Thought it would be fun to maybe discuss all the places I've worked at. I say it like it's a lot. Is it a lot? Let's just, I'm trying to count. Let's just name them all, shall we? Well, first I started working when I was 16, I believe. Yeah, when I was 16, I worked at a grocery store in Holland called Albert Heijn. I feel like every 16-year-old girl in Holland has either worked at like a McDonald's or like a grocery store. We all started out somewhere, right? Yeah, I started out at the grocery store. I was a cashier, so I was just scanning away everybody's products. I believe I took it as like a summer job in between school. I mean, it was fun. No, it wasn't. I hated that job. I actually, oh my God, thinking about it, the way I quit that job, I was such a 16-year-old jerk. One day I just decided I didn't want to go back to work again, so I just called in sick and I never came back. Oh my God, don't do that. Do not do that. That was not nice. I'm gonna actually start with my eyes first, because I'm now realizing the palette that I'm gonna use might have some fallout. So I'm just gonna... Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm gonna use my Fenty concealer. So yeah, after that job, I was still in school. So where did I work after that? I worked at River Island, I believe, after that, as like a... It was like a Christmas temporary 3 months work thingy. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working there. It was too bad that it only lasted for those 3 months, but I believe that gave me like a good feel that I actually enjoyed working in retail. So after that, oh my God, after that I worked at Primark. How could I forget that? I believe I was 18 at this point. I dropped out of school, which I do not recommend. Told my mom I'm gonna work full-time. I worked at Primark for a long time, either like a year and a half or 2 years. I worked at Primark and I worked at the customer service. So all the like returns and exchanges would all be done by us, and boy did I have a lot of fights at Primark. Oh my god, I don't think I got threatened or cursed at or yelled at as much as the time I worked at Primark. People would want to like bring back their clothes after they clearly have worn it, either damaged it themselves, or they would just bring back the clothes in like a horrible state and then be mad at me for not being able to accept it. I remember this one time a mom was bringing back this frozen coat. She had bought a frozen raincoat for her daughter, and the coat just absolutely reeked of smoke, and the coat was damp. It felt like the coat had either been washed or just was wet, or it was just wet. I don't know why it was wet, but it was wet. It just smelled so much of smoke that I actually had to hold my breath. I was like, okay. And then on the other hand, I also didn't really care that much about what people wanted to return because I was just a not interested 18-year-old. So I was like, okay. I had my judgments, but I didn't say anything. I was like, you know what, fine. As I grabbed the coat, I felt it was wet, and my supervisor was kind of like walking behind us. My supervisor got a whiff of the coat and he was like, no. I remember that day so well. He was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And then he only told me like, do not accept this coat, and he walked away. So I now had to be the one to tell the lady that I wasn't gonna accept her coat, right? She did not like that. She did not like what I had to say. I'm gonna use the Morphe Jeffree Star palette. I know. He's controversial. He's, every single time I think, okay, maybe I like Jeffree now, he does something that I'm just like, but I have the palette, so I'm gonna use it. It is a really pretty palette, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it quite simple today. I will list all the colors I've used down below. I'm gonna go in with the shade Mr. Diva. Okay, so back to the story. So to make my long story very short, the lady did not accept me not taking back her coat. She started yelling at me. She started threatening me. She was with her mom, so her mom started cussing me out. Mind you, I was an 18-year-old. I was just like, whoa, I don't care. It's just that my supervisor didn't, you know, he's not gonna allow me. Like, I don't care. And then I had to call my supervisor, call the manager, call everybody in that Primark to explain to this lady. And everybody management-wise agreed. Like, this coat, we cannot sell it again. Imagine another like 6-year-old grabbing that coat smelling of smoke. I remember her saying, I'm gonna call the newspaper, I'm gonna call the police, I'm gonna call your boss, I'm gonna call everybody. It's like, she was so mad at me. Oh, that was a fun day. Oh my god. And then after that, I just got sick of working at Primark and I started working at Zara. And at Zara, I worked at the men's department because I've shopped enough times at Zara to know that I did not want to work at the ladies department. I don't know why, but the Zara women's department, like the staff, always look like they're stressed the fuck out. And I did not want to be one of those. I applied for a job at the men's department and I had the best time at Zara. For as long as it lasted, I had such a great time at Zara. I worked full-time. I pretty soon got promoted from, I would do the fitting rooms, I would do the floor, I would be at the cash desk, I would just be a regular employee, and then I got promoted to do visual merchandising, and that's when I really fell in love with visual merchandising. I thought it was so fun. As a visual merchandiser, you just get to kind of like, you decide what goes on the mannequins. It was just really fun. It was stressful but really fun. And I had a manager, oh my god, I have another story time about this. Should I tell it? So I worked at Zara with like three or four of my best friends. Some of them I met at Zara, and one of them I already knew, which like some of them are to this day still my best friends. We used to go out on the weekends and we went out pretty frequently, and a lot of us went out and still had to work the next day because we would work weekends as well. And we would go out, like the 4 or 5 of us, and we would get back to work so hungover. And everybody at like our department, we were the men's and the children's department. They kind of like were next to each other. 2 or 3 of my friends were at the children's department, and then me and my best friend, we both worked in the men's department. And we would like go over and to talk to them, and we would even call. I remember like me and my other friend, we would call each other while she was just a few meters away. I would call her, talk about my weekend, talk about my day. We had such a fun time. So we would go out a lot. The rest of our department would always know like they went out again. Okay, so, and I remember one time we went out, and usually, I believe usually we would take like a cab to go out, but this time we decided to go with public transportation. We went on a tram. Right? We would always pre-drink at one of our friends, and then from there we would go out. So I don't know where I was in my story because my camera cut me off, but the point of the story, we were in the tram talking shit about my manager, and then I said, oh my god, imagine if she was behind us right now listening to everything we said. She wasn't behind us, but her sister was. Like, what are the fucking odds? We are sitting there talking shit about her, and her sister is right behind us listening to everything we're saying. Oh my god, we were so embarrassed. And when I said that, I was like, imagine she's behind us right now. We were like at a stop, and somebody stood up and walked to the door, and I was sitting by the door. I look at her, and I recognize her because it's her sister, and she's been like at our work a couple of times, and she looks exactly like her. So I immediately know that is her sister, and we all sort of just looked at her and oh my god. Mind you, we were drunk, so we were like, oh my god. And I just started laughing because what are you gonna do? It's already been done. You've already said what you said, and we meant what we said. So basically the next time we were at work, we were all in trouble. I believe actually only one of us got in trouble. I don't know why, but she took the hit for all of us. I mean, we were all talking shit, but she got blamed the most. My manager just went up to her the next day and said, can I talk to you for a second? That was really bad. That was really bad. I mean, it's funny now thinking about it, but that was really bad. Oh, I want to deepen this up. I'm gonna take Boss Angeles and like put it on the outer part. After working at Zara for about a year and a half, just working with my manager, like, I'm not kidding you if I tell you that she made our lives a living hell. She was one of those people who would make your time at work so miserable. Like, you would always check your schedule to see if you work with her, and if she was off that day, we would all be so happy. She would make the day feel so long. If you had like a little bit of fun at working, she would like look at you like, why are you smiling right now? After a while, working with her just really started to annoy me, and she actually like let the person that my best friend that I was working with on the men's department, she got let go, and she started working at Adidas, however you say it. She started to work there, and she kind of told me they're looking for a visual merchandiser if you want to come work here. I always really liked the brand. I was wanting to quit anyway, but I just didn't want to quit and then not have a job. So this was the perfect opportunity for me to switch. The pay was a lot better than it was at Zara, so I decided to make that switch at like 21 at this point. Yeah, I believe I was either 20 or 21. I made the switch from Zara to Adidas and to be their like full-time visual merchandiser. I just looked at the time and I really need to hurry up, so let me just talk while I do this. So, and it was also at this time where I really started to fall in love with makeup. Like, I would always do my makeup, play with like different looks, and just improve in my skills. And that was also around the time that I started doing makeup for others. That's when I really had clients, and I would practice on my sister all the time. And the more I fell in love with makeup, I started falling out of love with being like a visual merchandiser and doing that. And at this time, I wasn't working in Rotterdam as well. I was working pretty far from home, so the commute was also pretty long for me. And after like a year of waking up at 6 a.m. trying to be at my work by 9, coming home at 8. It was just after doing that for a year, I was completely done with it and I didn't like it that much anymore. My passion really lied at makeup. I really wanted a job in my own city again. I didn't want to travel that much, so I got like a little in-between job for me to search for the right job. So I quit my job at Adidas. I started working at a store called Tallywell, but I only wanted it as a like in-between job for me to get a job in makeup. And then one day when I got off, I was working in the city, and I believe I went to like a McDonald's, and on my way to McDonald's, I saw this empty space, like a huge NYX sign of "We're hiring, please email blah 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 if you want to work here." And they already had one store in Amsterdam, I believe, at that time, so they wanted to open a second store in my city. I came at just the right time. I was only working at that other job for, I believe, 2 months, so it just came at the perfect time. So I applied at NYX, sent in my resume. I got called in for a interview at the store in Amsterdam. I had to do the makeup of the area manager. Usually they would get a model and you would do the model's makeup, but I believe that day weren't able to get me a model, so I had to do the makeup of the person that I was doing my whole job interview with. But I got the job and I started working at NYX. I really liked it there. After a while, like the whole team started to be really demotivated. Our team dynamic just wasn't there anymore. We all kind of just went into like a funk. And that was because they switched up the management up top, and the way they were handling us really affected the way we worked. And we all just didn't enjoy our jobs that much anymore. I remember the whole team wanting to quit. And then one day our contract renewal was up, and I remember just wanting them not to renew my contract because I didn't want to work there anymore. They felt it. They felt I didn't want to work there anymore either. So they were like, you know, we're not gonna renew your contract. And I was like, thank you. I'm very much, and that's why I've worked at so many places, I'm very much if this doesn't make me happy anymore, I'm out. If I have to wake up before I go to work, check who I'm working with, and dreading going there. If I go to work every single day with this feeling in my gut like I hate it here, why would I do that to myself? I'm out. And that's exactly what happened. I hated going to work. I just didn't enjoy it. I was miserable most of the time. So why would I do that to myself? So after that, I actually didn't have a job to fall back on. So that was, I believe, the first time in a couple of years that I was actually unemployed. I remember going to Cape Verde for like a month. Lived my best life there. So when I came back from my vacation, I applied for MAC Cosmetics, and that's when I worked at MAC. I worked at MAC for about a year. It was fine. It was not at all what I expected from MAC. I feel like as a makeup artist, you hold MAC to a certain standard and you just, that's like your dream job. You feel like if you work at MAC, you've made it. But once you actually work at MAC, you're like, oh, this ain't it. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me just say this. Working at MAC for me was absolutely not what I expected it to be, and that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, now I work at Kiko. I enjoy it there. I do it mostly, I'm gonna keep it really real with you guys, I do it because I need the money. I like working in makeup still. Do I want to quit one day and do this full time? 100%. But until then, I work at Kiko. I am enjoying it. My colleagues are absolutely amazing. Nobody's killing the vibe for anyone. It's a great time. I am enjoying this more, of course, because this is what I really like. This right here. This is what I enjoy the most. So of course I'm striving to make this my full-time job, but until then, I'm good. Okay, I spent the longest time talking and doing my eyes. Let me see what time it is. I need to hurry up. My God. Let's just speed through this. If you want a more in-depth video of how I do like my face makeup, just check any other video. I do pretty much the exact same thing. I'm gonna cream contour a little bit. Let me put a little bit of that Fenty because my foundation is a little bit too dark for me. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that Fenty right here. That is way better. So I actually don't have to cream contour now. Yeah, let's skip the cream contour. Maybe only on my forehead because I don't put foundation on my forehead. That's because of the breakout I had. I'm trying to put as less product on my forehead as possible. I feel like it's maybe the buildup of the foundation on my forehead that's causing me to break out. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of cream contour along my forehead. I really need to wash my hair. I haven't washed my hair in. I don't think I even want to admit that. So my camera stopped recording. I have no idea where, but I'm just gonna blend out this concealer. My eyes are watering so much because of my allergies. Then grabbing my Too Faced Born This Way multisculpt because it's just a little bit lighter. I have an itch on my face and I don't want to scratch it with my hands because I'll ruin my makeup. I said I wasn't gonna cream contour and here I am cream contouring. I'm just cleaning up this line right here using my concealer so it like has that sharp edge. For powder, I'm gonna do something really just not necessary. So I've just powdered my face using a combination of the Coty Airspun and my Huda Beauty powder in Blondie because I feel like I bought this Huda Beauty one in the wrong shade. It's a little bit too darkish yellow for me. I'm bronzing with the Fenty Beauty bronzer. I don't need a lot because I already have that. Cream contour underneath. Jesus, that took me a while. I'm rushing because I'm slow. Put a little bit of powder underneath here. Then for like sort of a blush, I use my trusty Milani Baked Bronzer in Soleil. I'm gonna really focus this on the cheeks. I really have my moments. One day I hate blush and the next day I'm obsessed, and then in about a month I'll say I'll hate blush again. I just feel like this in combination with like that bright under eye, it just looks so nice. Now let's finish off my bottom lash line. I'm gonna use, do I want this to be smoky on the bottom as well or not? Let me just put a little bit of Mr. Diva underneath because I actually don't want it to be as smoky and dark underneath. Let me put a little bit of the dark brown just in the corner. Yeah, that's fine. Spray my face. Putting on setting spray is the best feeling. Push that spray in so your skin looks like actual skin again. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of liner, but I'm gonna put a brown one. This is the NYX Epic Ink in brown. I'm gonna do an inner corner flick so my eyes look a little bit more sultry. Be careful with not getting this in your eye. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I've put eyeliner on the inner corner of this eye and not on this eye yet. This eye just looks a little bit more kind of messed up on that eye, but I'll fix it later. I'm gonna put on some lashes, do my hair, get dressed, and then I'll get back to do like my lips and the finishing touches. So I'll be right back. Okay, so before I run out, let me just do the final touches. Spray my face with my Catrice spray. If you could see the state of my desk, it looks insane. I'm just gonna put a little bit of highlighter using the MAC Hyper Real Glow palette. Lately, I've only been putting highlighter right here, and I used to just put a lot. I've been liking this look better by just tapping it only here, tip of my nose. Here, my nose always starts running once I've done my makeup. I have no idea why. Then for lips, I'm gonna use the NYX matte liner in Downtown Beauty. And then this is the Kiko matte lipstick in 301 and the Kiko lip gloss in number 2. Not a lot because I don't want my lips to be too glossy today. I'm just going over it with a little bit more of the lipstick. Spray my face a little bit with the NYX Radiant Finish. You need to be really careful of your clothes with this because you will be covered in gold glitter. Let me take my lash glue and tweezers with me as well because my lash, with my eyes watering all the time, my lash will definitely come off some point today. Okay, so I know the last part of this video was quite chaotic. That's because I'm always late to everywhere I go. And yeah, I have to run out the door. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video.